Hello everyone, this is Dr.P.Syamala from the Department of MBA IB, Acharya Nagarjuna University. And today's topic is regarding structure of Fema Act 1999. In previous classes, we have studied about what is a Fema Act, how Fema Act has been emerged, and what is the concept of Fema Act, what is FTP. In previous classes, we have learned about all the things. And coming to this, how would be the structure of Fema Act? Okay, so structure of Fema Act means the comprehensive framework of Fema Act can be seen here. Okay, so comprehensive network or else comprehensive framework of Fema Act includes 6 chapters and 39 sections. So all those 6 chapters along with 39 sections deals with the activities of Fema Act. Basically, we know that Fema Act of 1999 stands for Foreign Exchange Management Act, which was enacted by Indian government to facilitate external trade and payments and to promote the orderly development and maintenance of the foreign exchange market. Okay, external trade and payments is nothing but the imports and exports. Okay, and at the same time to promote the orderly development and maintenance of the foreign exchange. Orderly development is nothing but development is okay, but what is orderly development means orders will be received. So from where these orders can be received means from the RBI. RBI frames the policies, rules and regulations, restrictions, everything regarding this act. So according to the RBI orders, okay, the development of the act can be seen, and at the same time maintenance of foreign exchange market means the main purpose of the Fema Act is to maintain the foreign exchange reserves. Okay, so what are a foreign exchange? First of all, what does foreign exchange means? Foreign exchange is nothing but the foreign currency. Okay, at the same time this currency includes not only notes and coins. Okay, not only notes and coins, but also like bills of exchange, letter of credit, debits, credits, everything comes under the foreign exchange, which is known as foreign exchequer. Okay, so that can be known as foreign exchequer, which is nothing but the currency along with, okay, not only notes and coins, along with notes and coins, bills of exchange, letter of credit, debit, many things comes under this foreign exchange. Okay, now we all know that what are the features of Fema also. Okay, like Fema is replaced by FERA, and no person can deal or transfer this foreign exchange without authorized person, and central government has the ultimate power and it imposes restrictions, okay, through RBI. Okay, likewise it imposes restrictions on persons resident in India and outside India, means the residential status will be the crucial aspect for the application of the Fema Act. Okay, so likewise Fema Act can be seen. So if we see the preamble, if we see the structure of Fema Act means the outline of its structure contains 6 chapters and 39 sections. Where these 6 chapters and 39 sections stated means in the Constitution of India. So the preamble outlines the purpose of the act. What is the purpose of the act? To maintain the foreign exchange reserves. Okay, so what does the preamble states? It outlines the structure of Fema Act by giving the purpose of the act, which is to consolidate and amend the law. See, consolidation means we are consolidating Fema and FERA. Why? Because FERA Foreign Exchange Regulation Act is there. Okay, so FERA is now replaced with FEMA. So both the laws will be consolidated and also amended in this structure of Fema Act, okay, relating to foreign exchange. Why? Because to facilitate the external trade payments and promote the orderly development and maintenance of the foreign exchange markets, right? Now, if we see what are the 6 chapters, okay, so what are those 6 chapters means? First chapter is regarding the preliminary aspects. So what are those preliminary aspects? So initial things are known as the preliminary or primary aspects. So first chapter means it is regarding with the primary aspects of the structure of Fema Act. So generally primary means what will be there? Regarding the act, name of the act, or else the title of the act, and definition of the act. Okay, so if we see this chapter 1 means chapter 1 provides the foundational definitions and scope of the act. Okay, so under chapter 1 we will study about 2 sections. Okay, section 1 consists of the short title, extent, application and commencement. Okay, and section 2 defines the Fema Act. Okay, so definition of Fema Act means Fema consists of different terms. Okay, so all those different terms will be defined in the act, means within the provision of the act those terms are defined and everybody should act according to that, to those definitions only. Okay, and if we see section 1 means short title, extent, application. Okay, so Fema Act, okay, and which means Foreign Exchange Management Act, it is a short title. Okay, and application means it applies all over India along with Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, and Foreign Exchange Acts, Exchange Management Act, it specifies not only applicability throughout India but also to the branches, offices, agencies outside India owned or controlled, okay, by persons resident in India. Okay, so what is the title? FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act. To what extent the act will be applicable, to whom the act will be applicable, means whole India, persons living in India with along with Jammu and Kashmir also. Okay, and along with that it applies to not only persons, it also applies to the branches, offices, agencies, okay, outside India also, or but those outside branches, offices should be controlled and owned by PRIs, persons who are residents in India. Then only this law will applicable, this act will applicable. So it specifies the commencement of date of the act, which is nothing but the 1999, the date of the act. And coming to section 2, definition. So we all know that different terms will be entitled in this act. So therefore we have to know each and every term, meaning and definition. Why? Because as we are dealing with the act, we have to know the provisions of those act, we have to know the definition, we have to know the meaning of the act. Then only we can act according to the regulations and rules of the Fema Act. So therefore different terms were there, different definitions has been given, like for authorized person. Okay, authorized person means who is an authorized person, what are the rights of authorized person, okay, or else what are the contraventions of authorized persons, what are the penalties of authorized persons, what are the duties, what are the responsibilities of authorized persons. So all these are defined in this authorized person. Likewise, capital account transactions, what are capital account transactions, okay, so what are capital assets, what comes under capital assets. Okay, so all these can be stated in this capital account transactions. Likewise, currency. So what does currency means? As I said before, currency means not only the notes and coins, but also like letter of credit, bills of exchange, debit cards, credit cards, everything all comes under the currency. Okay, so likewise current account transactions. So what are current account transactions? Means we can say short term transactions. Okay, day to day, daily activity, business activity transactions can be considered as a current account transactions. So for that also they have given certain definitions. Likewise, what does foreign exchange means? Okay, foreign exchange means nothing but foreign currency. Okay, currency which involves other aspects also. Likewise, foreign security. So what does security mean? Securities are nothing but the shares, debentures. Okay, so all those comes under the security. Bonds all comes under the security. So foreign, what does foreign security means? What comes under foreign security? Okay, and who the persons who can have PRIs and non PRIs. Okay, so applicability, all these can be defined under these definitions. So this is about the chapter 1, which is nothing but the preliminary aspects. Now coming to chapter 2, it it is about regulation and management of foreign exchange. Okay, so what does regulation and management of foreign exchange means? Restrictions, rules, and at the same time we have to manage the foreign currency. The main purpose is that only, maintenance, managing the foreign exchequer, foreign currency. Okay, so therefore under chapter 2 we will study about section 3. Okay, section 3 means chapter 2 means it outlines the regulations governing foreign exchange transactions. So the rules and regulations regarding the management of foreign exchange. Under section 3, what we will see, dealing in foreign exchange means the persons who deal with the foreign exchange. What are the rules? What are the regulations? Who are the proper persons to deal with foreign exchange? Means we all know that there will be only one person known as authorized persons. They are only entitled to deal with these foreign exchanges. Okay, so therefore it prohibits dealing in foreign exchange with other persons, except only authorized persons can deal with foreign exchange, with banks also, with persons, anything. Okay, so section 3 says about the dealing in foreign exchange. So making of payments, or else receiving payments, or else regarding the securities, regarding the acquisition of assets, regarding the transfer of rights, regarding the property. Okay, everything, every dealing regarding the exchanges, regarding the securities. So everything will be dealing with an authorized person. Other than that authorized person, no person should deal with the foreign exchange. Okay, so the section 3 act tells about dealing in foreign exchange. If we see section 4, so what does section 4 says means? Section 4 says about the holding of foreign exchange. Okay, restricts holding of foreign exchange, restricts residence in India. Means the persons who are residing in India, they shall not possess, they shall not acquire, they shall not hold, own, possess, or transfer any foreign exchange, or else any foreign security, or any immovable property situated not inside in India, but situated outside India. Okay, so the person resident in India, he could not, he should not, or else he shall not possess, acquire, hold, own, possess, transfer anything, okay, of holding of foreign exchange or foreign security. So those aspects will be discussed under the section 4. So what are those properties? What are those currencies, exchanges? Okay, everything, how the transfer should be made, to which person transfer should be made, how PRIs should deal with the holding of foreign exchange, how resident of India, how they should deal with the holding of foreign exchange. So different aspects will be there. Okay, so all those aspects can be studied under section 4. If we see section 5, so What does section 5 says? Section 5 says about the current account transactions. Okay, so current account transactions means how current account transactions are made. Okay, so any person may sell or draw foreign exchange to or from an authorized person if such sale or draw is a current transaction. Okay, it has however been provided that central government in public interest and in consultation with the Reserve Bank, it can impose reasonable restrictions for current transactions as may be prescribed. So therefore current transactions, dealing with current transactions, it allows residents to draw foreign exchange for current transactions as per the RBI guidelines. Okay, it depends upon the RBI guidelines. So if we see about section 6, what does section 6? It deals about the capital account. So as far as now we have completed current account. Now it is capital account transactions. So capital account transactions means transactions which alters our assets or liabilities, okay, in India, or else including contingent liabilities outside India, regarding PRI or PROI. Okay, means person resident in India or person resident outside India. So all these capital transactions deals with the regulations of capital account transactions, provides the framework for permissible transactions. Okay, so which are permissible? Actually capital account transactions are not allowed. Okay, so why? Because capital transactions means they will change, they will alter the assets and liabilities, the balance sheet of this persons resident in India, person resident outside India also. But on what basis all those transactions will be made means according to the rules and regulations laid down by the RBI. According to that, okay, capital account transactions will be permissible. Okay, means capital account transactions, some capital account transactions are permissible transactions, and who will permit those means according to the instructions of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Okay, if we see section 7, so section 7 means export of goods and services. Okay, export of goods and services mandates exporters to furnish declarations regarding the value of exports and ensures timely realization of export proceeds. So export of goods and services means we are exporting our products, means we are selling our product to other countries. So in such case we have to, the exporter has to give a declaration form. Okay, so here it is a mandatory. Okay, declaration form is a mandatory. Without declaration form, exporter cannot export his goods and services. So therefore it is a mandatory for the exporter to provide or else to furnish declaration form. About what? Declaring what means declaring about the what are the goods they are going to export, what is the value of export, what are the goods, what are the how quantity. Okay, all these aspects will be furnished in the declaration form, and also at the same time they ensure the timely realization of export proceeds, means the proceedings regarding the exports all will be timely reported, timely realized. Okay, that is that ensurement is also given in the declaration form by the exporter. So all these aspects will be dealt in the section 7 of Fema Act of chapter 2. Now section 8 means realization and repatriation. Okay, realization and repatriation of foreign exchange. See here, realization means the amount we have to get. Okay, so we are realizing our amount, we are if we are selling a product means we are getting our amount, that is the realization. And repatriation is nothing but if at all our amount has to come from the outside country. Okay, so we have to get back that amount in previously 2-3 years back, or else for 10 years back some amount is accrued there. Okay, so we have to get back that amount. So that is known as repatriation of foreign exchange. Means section 8 deal with realization, repatriation of foreign exchange, obligates individuals to realize and repatriate foreign exchange to India in a prescribed manner. So, in a determined manner by the RBI, the persons of India who are residing in India, if at all they want to get their money, which has to be realized, which has to be repatriated, they can get their amount, they can realize, they can repatriate their foreign exchange through this section 8. Okay, now section 9, it says that exemption from realization and repatriation in certain cases provides specific cases where the obligations to repatriate foreign exchange may be exempted. So in this realization of amount and repatriation of amount, in certain cases, okay, in some specific cases, so in some specific cases only, this realization and repatriation are exempted, means they cannot realize and repatriate. And in section 10, authorized person deals with authorization process and duties of authorized persons in foreign exchange dealings. So section 10, it defines about the responsibilities and duties and the process of authorization also, means the registration process will be there for a authorized person to get an authorized license. Okay, so therefore the process will be there, the duties of the authorized persons, all these can be discussed in section 10. Now coming to chapter 3. Okay, so under chapter 3 deals with the authorized person. Okay, because authorized person is a very significant person in this Fema Act. Why? Because no person can deal with foreign exchange except authorized person only. Authorized person will be a licensed person to deal with foreign exchanges. Okay, so therefore this authorized person's roles and responsibilities are very, very important. He is a significant person. So therefore under chapter 3, as the section 10, section 11, section 12 all specifies about the duties and liabilities of the authorized person and who controls him, what are the contraventions and what are the penalties, all can be discussed under this authorized person only. So these sections deal with duties and liabilities. Section 10A, okay, of authorized persons means the do's and don'ts of authorized person and what are the responsibilities, what are the liabilities. Okay, how he should compliance with the regulations of RBI, means each and everything according to the provisions of the RBI only authorized person has to act. Why? Because he is the person who is dealing with the foreign exchange market. Okay, so therefore he should know about the RBI regulations, he should know about the RBI rules. So therefore he should have a compliance with the RBI Act, RBI rules. Therefore it is his duty, what are his duties and what are his liabilities will be discussed in section 10A. Coming to section 11, RBI, Reserve Bank, has powers to issue directions to authorized persons. We all know the apex body is Reserve Bank. Under the directions, under the recommendations of central government, RBI works. Okay, so this RBI has powers to issue directions to authorized persons. Okay, and it empowers RBI to issue directions to authorized persons to ensure compliance. This means nothing but they has to according to the laws they have to work. Compliance is nothing but they should fulfill the laws according to the act, according to the RBI rules and regulations they have to act. And coming to section 12, powers of Reserve Bank to inspect authorized persons. Okay, inspecting, section 12 is related to inspecting the authorized persons. Why? Because authorized persons deals with foreign exchange. Okay, therefore a record should be maintained by these authorized persons. Okay, from each and every day the details about the transactions, to whom they are dealing. Okay, so how much they are dealing, from which bank they are dealing, from which place they are dealing. So each and everything has to be maintained by the authorized person, and those books, those records will be inspected by the Reserve Bank, okay, under section 12. So section 12 gives powers to Reserve Bank to inspect authorized persons, okay. So authority to inspect the accounts and records of authorized persons. Now chapter 4. So chapter 4 deals with contraventions and penalties. So what are the contraventions and what are the penalties? As I said before, contravention is nothing but breach of breach of law, okay. Means we are not following the laws, that is known as breach of law, okay. And penalties are regarding those breach of law, penalties will be implemented on that person, okay. So if we see authorized person is the licensed person who has given powers by the Reserve Bank of India to deal with the foreign exchange market. So whenever this authorized person is dealing with this foreign exchange market, okay, sometimes it may happen some contraventions. So contravention is nothing but going beyond the law, or else they are not acting according to the provisions of the Fema Act. So therefore what happens means it comes under the contravention, means they are liable, those authorized persons are liable for the penalties, okay. So we all know that Fema Act means there will not be criminal act, there will not be criminal law or criminal act will be there. Any act will be considered as a civil act only, civil law only, civil case will be there, there will not be criminal case. So therefore for those contraventions penalties will be there. So this chapter deals with violation of the act and associated penalties, okay. So penalties, so section 13 means penalties details the penalties for contravention of provisions of the act. So section 13 deals with which contravention, which penalty, okay. Next section 14. If section 14 if we see means enforcement of orders of adjudicating authority, outlines the process for enforcing orders issued by adjudicating authority, okay. So all those contraventions and penalties will be enforced by the adjudicating authority. So adjudicating authority will be the Director General, okay. The Director General will be the adjudicating authority, and he will on his behalf appoints some officers to see all those aspects, okay. So there is enforcement of orders of adjudicating authority which oversees these authorized persons contraventions and penalties. Now coming to section 15. So power to compound contravention allows for the compounding of contraventions subject to specific conditions and the payment of a prescribed sum. Here compounding means, so if at all there is a contravention made by the authorized person, penalty will be implemented on that contravention. So if at all that contravention made by the authorized person, penalty is imposed, for example imprisonment of 3 months, okay. So for that not having the jail of imprisonment of 3 months, that punishment may be compounded with money of paying for example 1 lakh, okay. So that is compound means for this punishment we will compound with money, okay. So that is known as compound. Here section 15 says that power to compound contravention allows for the compounding of contraventions, means this section allows this compounding system subject to specific conditions. So in some specific conditions only it allows the payment of a prescribed sum for imprisonment of a person, okay. So section 16, appointment of adjudicating authority, provides for the appointment of adjudicating authorities to handle violations. So we all know that we have Director General as adjudicating authority to look after all these aspects of contraventions and penalties, okay. And this Director General, he will have the powers to appoint some officers on behalf him to handle the violations, okay. Next section 17, appeal to special director. okay, set forth the process for appealing decisions made by the adjudicating authority. So appeal to special director means, for example, if at all any person, any authorized person, okay, so went for appeal means any punishment has been given by the director general regarding his contravention, then if at all that authorized person is not satisfied with that judgment, then he can appeal to special director. So that is known as appealing. So there will be a process for appealing to a special director in such case. So those appeal to special director deals with this section 17. Now section 18, establishment of appellate tribunal, establishes an appellate tribunal to hear appeals against the orders of the special director. Okay, means here section 18, it establishes the appellate tribunal. Okay, so that tribunal especially listens about, hears about the appeals against the director general. As I said before, authorized person, if he is not satisfied with the judgment given by the director general, then he can go for the appeal. So appeal, where he can go, that appeal means he can go for appellate tribunal where there will be a special director. Now coming to section 19, it deals with appeal to appellate tribunal, means the procedure for filing an appeal. Okay, procedure for filing an appeal to appellate tribunal, because there will be certain procedure while we are going for an appeal, means we have to pay some minimum fees, we have to register. Okay, so certain process will be there, so we have to follow that procedure according to section 19 when we are going for appellate tribunal. And section 20 says that appeal to high court, provides for appeals to high court against the orders of appellate tribunal. See, if we are not satisfied with director general, he can go for special director. Again, if he is not satisfied with special director, okay, then he can go for high court, which is against the orders of the, against appellate tribunal, he can go for high court. Now section 21 says that Directorate of Enforcement establishes the Directorate of Enforcement enforcing the provisions of the act. Okay, so here, so that section 21 gives about the provisions of the ED, which is nothing but Directorate of Enforcement. And section 22 means it gives powers to arrest grants. Okay, powers to arrest grants individuals suspected of contravening the act. Okay, so certain powers will be given. Okay, why? Because in order to arrest the individuals, who will be arrested means the individuals who are suspected for contravening the act, who are not abiding the rules and regulations of the act, those persons can be arrested according to section 22. Now section 23 means power to search premises. Okay, power to search premises, which is nothing but the premises can be searched any time. Okay, if the director general or else the adjudicating authority has that power to search the authorized person premises. Okay, and gather evidence and contraventions, gather evidence of contraventions. If at all any contravention is made by the authorized person, okay, then this adjudicating authority has the power to search the premises of that person, and also they can gather the evidences regarding those contraventions. And section 24 says about power to seize documents. Okay, seize the documents to relevant to an investigation. If at all that person has committed any contravention means, for regarding that, those evidences can be seized, those documents can be seized by the adjudicating authority. Okay, which are relevant to investigation. So if we see chapter 5, okay, under chapter 5 it deals with adjudication and appeal both. Okay, so this chapter outlines the process of adjudication and appeal for class related to foreign exchange violations. Okay, So adjudication and appeal, two sections will be there, section 28 and section 29. Okay, so section 28 deals with the procedure and powers of appellate tribunal and special director. Okay, so how would be what are the powers of appellate tribunal and what are the powers of special director. Okay, so all these are related to the appeals only. Okay, appeals are nothing but, as I said before, authorized person, if he is not satisfied with the judgment of the director general, he will go for the appeal. Okay, appeal is nothing but he is now going for another tribunal. If at all he is not satisfied that in the tribunal, he will go for high court. Okay, likewise, so we will talk about the powers regarding those appellate tribunal and special director. Okay, so and they will specify the procedure and powers also, those appellate tribunal and special director, because there will be a procedure to go for appellate tribunal. Okay, so all these will be studied under section 28. Coming to section 29, right of appellant to take assistance of legal practitioner or chartered accountant and of government to appoint presenting officers. Okay, so section 29 gives the appellant, for example, the appellant is a authorized person, so that authorized person can have, or else he can take assistance of legal practitioner, or else CA, or else a government to appoint presenting officers. Okay, so it ensures the appellants have the right to legal representation. They can have a legal representation. So this is about the section 29, 28 and 29. Now coming to chapter 6, which deals with Directorate of Enforcement. So Directorate of Enforcement elaborates on the role and powers of the Directorate of Enforcement. Okay, so what are the roles, what are the powers of the Directorate? Means section 30, section 31 and section 32. These three sections deal with the roles and powers of Directorate of Enforcement. So section 30 means officers of enforcement. Okay, section 30 deals with officers of enforcement, means who are the officers, who are the designated officers, who are the directors, and what are their functions. Okay, so all these aspects, their functions, the persons who are dealing with the enforcement directorate, all these can be studied under section 30. Coming to section 31, powers to call. Okay, power to call for information to the directorate, to call for information necessary for the enforcement of the act. Means in section 30 we will talk about the functions of the directorate and the persons who are involved in the directorate. And coming to section 31, the powers means the directorate has the power to gather information. They can call the person to give the information which is necessary for their enforcement of the act. Okay, and coming to section 32, power to summon persons to give evidence and produce documents. Okay, authorities, the director to summon individuals to provide evidence or produce documents relevant to an investigation. Means they have every power to investigate that particular person who is contravening. Okay, and they can gather the evidence from that person. They can enter into their premises and they can gather the evidence, or else they can call upon that person. Okay, so to summon the person and produce documents. Okay, so this is powers to summon persons to give evidence and produce documents. If we see, okay, miscellaneous. So what does miscellaneous means? This chapter includes various supplementary provisions. Okay, sorry, there are all over chapter 7 chapters here. Okay, with miscellaneous. This is chapter 6. This chapter includes various supplementary provisions. Okay, so under section miscellaneous means other than above explained chapters. Okay, So the remaining aspects can be studied under this miscellaneous aspects. So section 33 means presumption as to documents in certain cases. Okay, so presumption of documents. Next, suspension of Operation Act section 33 34 and section 35 continuous of certain provision ensures that certain provisions continue to apply even if the act is suspended. Okay, so all these talks about the continuity of act or else suspension of the act regarding those contraventions. Okay, if at all some operations of the act are if they want to continue they can continue, or else if they want to suspend they can suspend. Okay, all these the powers will be with the Reserve Bank only. Okay, according to the act they will according to the situations they will suspend the operations of the act or else they will continue the act. And coming to section 36, power of central government to make rules empowers the central government carrying out purposes of the act. So it talks about 36 powers of central government. So central government has the ultimate powers. According to the central government recommendations, only RBI acts. Now coming to section 37, powers of RBI to make regulations authorities. Okay, so not only rules, regulations also means restrictions also made by the Reserve Bank of India. And section 38, laying rules and regulations before Parliament requires that rules and regulations under the Act laid by laid before Parliament. Coming to 39, so even though the rules and regulations are made by the central government, they have the fullest powers, but they should be made before the Parliament, means in both houses of the Parliament that a rule should be made, that act should be made, then only execution can be made possible. Now coming to section 39, repeal and savings repeals the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. Okay, repeal is nothing but the replacement. Okay, so replacement has been done. Previously we have Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, which is known as FERA. So that is replaced by this Fema Act and saves the actions taken under it. Means under Foreign Exchange Regulation Act also there are certain provisions, so those are also saved here in this Fema Act. Okay, so if we see this detailed structure of Fema Act 1999, it ensures a comprehensive regulatory framework for managing foreign exchange in India, facilitating external trade, maintaining the integrity of foreign exchange market. So this is the basic thing, maintaining the integrity of foreign exchange, maintaining the foreign exchange reserves is the main purpose of the Foreign Exchange Management Act. Okay, so if we see finally, we have not 6 chapters, we have 7 chapters. Okay, sorry, this is 7.